Hi everybody. All right, this is a playtest report for a new Vassal module for Battles of Westeros, one of the games that came out of Fantasy Flight Games. Oh wow, before COVID, and they came out with a couple of modules, and then they stopped producing it. The Fantasy Flight couldn't seem to get their act together, as far as I was concerned. They lost the licensing, or didn't want to pay for this licensing for the Game of Thrones franchise. So they went and made a different game called Battlelore 2, which, as far as I'm concerned, was awful. And I sold that game. I was in the process of about selling this, and then I noticed Alessandro Crespi, who's quite famous for doing great Vassal modules for CCN Napoleonics, for example, got it into his head that he needed to create a good Vassal module for Battles of Westeros, and I was just on the verge of selling these games. And then I talked to my friend who said he was actually painting his miniatures after dragging them out of the box after 3 years himself. So I said, well, these are all signs that I should not sell this. So what I've done here is I'm going to show you his version of Vassal here that he's been working on. And this is actually not the most recent version of the game. This is actually going to be, let's start a new game offline. And you can see he's already got the setups here. This isn't all the setups. He's got even more now. But Clash on the King's Road is the usual opening scenario. We'll start with that. Solitaire, we'll play it that way and set it up. So boom, there it is. People may recognize this kind of formatting here for, I'll put my picture up there for this. So let me just save this here, and I'll make sure that I'm recording this okay. Okay, everything seems to be working and functioning in order for this game. So anyway, as you can see, very much has the same look as, how do you want to call it, the CCN stuff. And because the command rules are a lot different, though, you actually activate commanders in this game. It's one of the reasons I liked it. It doesn't have those cards, left flank, right flank, center flank, move 2, move 1, bombard, all of that stuff. Now, it's all built into the cards, and what Alessandro's done is, for example, this leader here is Mage Warmont, and you can see that her unit has the characteristics of heavy armor and stalwart, which means A, she can ignore one flag, and B, heavy armor means they defend as if they're a blue unit, not a green unit. So it's harder to hit them, in fact. So then it also shows that her other units happen to be axemen, these, what are they called? War Host of the North, which is Robb Stark's name for his infantry, I guess. Okay. You can see this is a well-constructed module. If you go over the terrain, it's going to show you the terrain effects here. And I guess even this road will be shown, what happens with the road. Fords are shown right here. And these are victory objectives here. I mean, some of the aesthetics I like, some of them I don't. But, I mean, I don't see any reason to have the objectives sticking out like that and just put an objective marker at the top or something. But look, he's had a lot of input from a lot of players who played this a lot more than me, so I'm standing back and saying, hey, you guys, just carry on. All right, so in this game, it can be a little tricky to figure out where some of the stuff is, and I think that one of the things that could be improved, for example, here, this is where you draw your cards. And he'll probably add this later, but you can't draw cards here. You have to actually draw them from the deck like this. And then these are the leadership cards that allow you to do battle moves and things like that. There's also, you have to roll, and you've got these dice that you roll here. 1, 2, 3, or 4 dice, and you can see here I rolled, wow, look at that. Those are all greens. And so there's these green tokens you can get. That means that instead of playing a battle card, you can use these green things to move a green unit. But they do get activated, so you can only really move them once unless you rally them. And you can see right here, you can rotate this. Let's see. So orders, rotate. How do you change the rank? Rank is done. Engagement toggles, clone. Huh. Now why can I not see how to commit this? Commit it means it changes its flag from black to white. Let me pause this and figure that out. Okay, it's not commit, it's order. You have to hit this order, and you see how the flag changes from black to white. That's how you know that this unit has expended its efforts for this round. Okay. And this wolf, this is the Stark wolf, which is their emblematic, and then you've got the Lannister lions down here. So you can see there's different unit types. Here's some blue infantry, so they're a little bit stronger than these green infantry coming down from here, but they probably move a little slower. And it's really well done, organized. I mean, you can see if it's a rank green, move 2 and attack, move 1 and attack, or move 2 if you're blue. Everybody who's familiar with Battlelore will remember this kind of stuff. They'll recall this. So it's really easy to play. I mean, you just have to, if you take a hit, you take a hit. It goes down from 3 to 2. Cover the hits. All of these toggles seem to work very well. I haven't had any problem. One of the things you can do is commit the leader. And if you commit him, so if you look at this, here's the leader uncommitted. And if you commit him, one of his special commands, you can only play 1 per game, is used up. And so if you look at his Adam Marbrand card, the way it is now, and if you commit him, now you can see he's only got the regular command ability that he's got. He has a special ability, but only once per game. So all of that's built in. I'll tell you what, playing on the VASSAL module is supremely easy compared to playing it in real life. But of course, in real life, you have the actual miniatures. Now, one of my objections here, just feedback, is this isn't really where you're supposed to put these. You're supposed to actually put them, I guess, on the command area, but then they become hard to see. I don't like that. And then I'm not sure what these are doing in here. That's supposed to be an order token. What is that? Flip that over. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. He's done that so you can pull these instead of flip. Well, how come they're all green? Randomize. Flip. Not sure this is working right. Alessandro. Flip to randomize. I'm not seeing any randomization going on here. Oh, there it comes out. Okay. I guess the green ones are just showing up right now. I don't know why. Something seems to be wrong with this randomization feature. Okay. But then, I don't know, here they should have, what are these? I guess these are victory points. There should be the command circles. You have to go in here to get those. That's what these things are. I'm not sure why these aren't down here or up in here or even in your hand. I mean, this is just feedback for Alessandro. I don't know why this couldn't be optimized a little bit better. I have some I don't really think this is being randomized. Well, now it is. Now, blue, red, green, blue. Well, it shouldn't change all the time either. Not so sure this randomization's working right. Oh, now I randomized blue to blue, so maybe it is working right. Okay, just something to consider. All right, Stark has momentum with this baton. I really thought this was a goofy looking thing here for the game. but this represents the command rod or whatever they're using up there. Okay. And then, yeah, so I mean, the game is quite fun. You know, you can move your archers up and attack. Now, the archers, if they move, they have an off balance stat, which means they lose 1 die when they move and attack. But then they can attack. You roll the attack die. And then they got a green result. This was a blue unit here. So I don't know if you can see that circle. But so it missed. Okay, and then since it had been ordered either by one of these tokens or by one of the command circles from one of the leaders, I'm not going to try to explain how the game's played. I'm just testing the Vassal module. So he got ordered. So he's done. That now I might have had a rally token up here. Flip, 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 flip. Okay, so randomize, randomize, randomize. And I'm not really sure I like this. So if you had one of those, you could play that, and that would turn him back on, so he could be ordered again. But then you'd have to move this because you use some of your morale to get him moving. So this would move one towards the, move it down towards the, no, sorry, the other way. Move it, you'd lose some morale as the starts. Okay. So anyway, all of these elements seem to be working. I would just, you know, the only feedback I have is to maybe tweak how they operate together. That's a pretty minor complaint. You know, you got to love the fact that there's all these scenarios here already embedded, and he's even added different houses. If you look at this, he's got Lannister units, Baratheon, the Tullys, which was not a module they actually released. They did have the Brotherhood with banners that came out. I have all of those, Tribes of the Vale. But Arryn and Tyrell, these were not ever released. Targaryens were never released by the actual Fantasy Flight system. They could have done it. They just didn't do it. So the other thing I would have just for you, Alessandro, you see all these things here. I'd have all these dice spread out so you can hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 without having to do a drop-down menu. In general, in Vassal, I'm not a big fan of drop-down menus. I think you should just have a button for everything. But then people who play by key command strokes think I'm some kind of old-age lunatic, which, you know, obviously goes without saying that I am. But anyway, you can build you know, your own map here, just like in the other games. This should be able to be rotated. You know, this is some kind of Sully port. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff here that is in the game. And where are the cards? That's one of the things I was looking for the leadership cards. Are they in here? No. What's this? Those are dice. Those are miniatures. Where's the decks? Why am I not seeing these decks? Oh, there they are. And these are all the different leaders, different commanders, and the different commander abilities. It's really a beautiful module. It's better than the game, I have to tell you. So, awesome job, Alexander. Can't remember for sure what his name is. I know it's Crespi, Mr. Crespi. Excellent job. So, a lot of fun here to be had. There are some hardcore players who've been play testing this. They would have more to say than me about any functionality problems. These are guys that didn't give up on the game like I did. Shamefacedly, I must admit that I gave up on this game because I was just mad at Fantasy Flight Games for abandoning the sequence, changing to another game that was just awful. Then from that, they abandoned Battlelore 1 as well. Battlelore 2 was junk. They changed that to a miniature game, which then turned into a scrimmage Warhammer-style game for miniatures on big tables, which is not a part of the hobby that I play. I'm not a big... It's really popular here in England, in southern England, where you get these big maps, this whole room. You go to the upstairs or downstairs of a pub, and you know, they have this whole huge table with the big miniatures and map elements. You know, there's a certain attraction to it. It's just not me. I'd rather just play a board game. And I don't have the patience to be a good miniatures painter anyway. I outsource that if I ever have to do it. Anyway, that's my review of this. What else can I show you? I guess we could close this game. Save it now. Load up another battle plan. Let's see what we got. We got custom ones. Storm End Siege. Let's look at this. Join game as Solitaire. Okay. And, well, it looks like we have... I don't know who these are. So these are... I don't know. Manderley Trident Bearers. Stark. Oh, that's part of the Stark team. Oh, alright. And then these guys down here. Who's this? Baratheons. Okay. And then who's this? House Tyrell. So it looks like Stark is fighting House Tyrell. Oh, yeah, you can look at the banners here. I forgot. You can look at these banners on the units themselves. It tells you which faction they're part of. So anyway, this is some battle I have no idea about that either existed or didn't exist. But there's ways to play skirmishes in this. This is one heck of a system. So I've got to get my friend to do it. Hopefully we'll be able to do this on Vassal. I mean, I could get some other friends to do it, I suppose, but he's the only one I usually play games with because I don't have time. I played 2 different guys, ASL, plus possibly an ASL tournament going on every week. And then I've got 2 games of Axis Empires Ultimate Edition going on at any point in time. So that's a good 10-15 hours of game time per week. I think I squeeze it in pretty good. But it's going to be hard for me to squeeze this in. But anyway, I wanted to get this video done. That's it. Thanks a lot for listening. Hothead Thundermouth. Right. Unscripted, uncensored, psychologically immune from social media control. See ya.